interesting panel discussion on emerging security threats in Himalayan region. DG CRPF to please join us on the stage. He has been decorated with President Medal for Distinguished Services, Police Medal for Gallantry, and a dozen other decorations for internal security, operational excellence in difficult areas, and administrative acumen. He also received a President Award for Conduct of Elections as Head of CRPF and Govind Pant Award for Publications. May I also request Mr. Dinesh Kumar Yadav, IPS IGBSF, to please join us on the stage. Let's give him a warm round of applause, everybody together. Mr. Sandeep Khosla, IG Indo-Tibetan Border Police, to please join us. Mr. Prakash Chandra Raturi, Commandant Communication SSB. Mr. Sanjeev Sehgal, the founder and MD Sparsh CCTV. May I now request Dr. A.P. Maheshwari, sir, to please introduce each panelist.
Good morning, everybody. Can you hear me? Yeah, thank you. Good morning, everybody. And I'm happy to see all of you here. So my request to all of you, kindly clap for yourself. You are very lucky for us. So we had a very good discussion before this. Before we go ahead, and one of our colleagues will shortly join. To my right is Sandeep. He's from ITBP, and he has a long service with him. ITBP works on the higher regions. They cover the China border, and right from Ladakh, right from Ladakh, Srinagar, Kashmir, J&K, and they go up to Nathula, various places. And he has been decorated with the President Medal for Distinguished Services, President Medal for Meritorious Services. He has a huge record of decorations and services. He worked in SPG also, and he also actively participated in Punjab militancy. We also, when Dinesh comes, I'll introduce Dinesh once he arrives. I'll take the privilege in introducing my friend to the left. He is Mr. Prakash. He's a commandant in SSB. SSB is guarding Nepal and Bhutan borders, which are friendly borders. And he's got expertise in electronics, IT, and communication. He has a long record of service with SSB in the field. That is his positive. And most of you know Sanjeev Sehgal. He's a founder, MD Sparsh. He's a person of Made in India fame. He is also known internationally for setting his standards at the international level, which is known ONWIF. He's on the board of ONWIF, which does the wonders of interoperability of system, cyber security, and the intelligent video surveillance. Now, with this, I will first apprise all of you the type of overall environment we are working in. And as we have seen over a period of time, the whole scenario globally has undergone a change. And as my friend was saying, Vipul, that the line between the external and internal security is becoming blurred. But the analysts who are seeing the things for future, they are clear about few things. Number one, that the new deterrence is the endurance. The technical superiority to the industrial depth. This is the new shift which the world is watching. It is not only the tech superiority, but how long the nation can tolerate so many things, the endurance at the national level. So from military superiority, now it has become the national preparedness. It's not only the military preparedness, but it's the national preparedness. We have seen how economically the country is, how long the industry supplies and the supply chains can be maintained, what is the level of political cohesion so that there are no fault lines which the enemies can exploit. We also saw that public endurance is the game changers, how long the people can endure. Now, this is quite clear when you see the US, Iran, or other wars which are getting conducted. And they are the prolonged war situations. And another factor which my friend Ripple raised was the energy. And energy is a big issue. Welcome, welcome Dinesh. Now Dinesh is here. Let me introduce Dinesh to all of you. He's an officer of 98 batch from Himachal Pradesh cadre. And he has the honor of having UN medals when he was on UN peacekeeping mission in Sudan. He has the police medal for meritorious services. He's expert in disaster management. He has also worked with the UIDAI, and he's right now looking into electronics and digital communication. Welcome, Dinesh. Welcome you to this panel discussion. Now, what I was saying that we have to understand the overall scenario within which we are existing right now. Now, the topic which has been chosen for the discussion, because we have the border guarding forces here. We have ITBP, we have BSF. Dinesh is working with BSF, which looks after Pakistan and Bangladesh, and SSB, I already said, and ITBP. Now, given the security scenario in the Himalayan region, all of us have seen major changes. The way the dragon has taken over, the situations have changed in Nepal. You see the digital encirclement out there. You see the various types of dual-use technologies they are using there. Various types of infrastructural development which has been done in Nepal. Similarly, Bhutan, the way we have been encircled. Another factor which is emerging from the Himalayan region is the disasters. The lot of, with the climate change, lot of problems are coming. So they are becoming the security issues, and they will eat upon the resources of the nation which can otherwise be used. So with this background, I will now request my friend, I start with ITBP. I'll request Sandeep to throw major focus on what type of technologies they are using on the China border, what they were using earlier, what they are using right now, and what is his perspective, his ideation on the type of challenges which can come 5 years hence, and what gaps he is perceiving, so that we are prepared for the future. We all of us know that we are preparing ourselves against adversary who is much ahead. Let us admit, unless we admit that the problem exists, we cannot find a solution. So the facts have to be admitted, and therefore we have to prepare ourselves. And in fact, all of us know this, that even the human terrain in these areas had become thin, because the way the education was done, all the youth came down and the villages were vacant. Now they have to be re-established. The road organization, the border road organization had to be activated again. Many things in infrastructure had to be done, where all these tools with the electronic industry provides are being used. So with this background, I'll come to Sandeep to enlighten us about the China border and what exactly the ITBP is doing in terms of its present preparedness and the futuristic outlook. Thank you, Sandeep.
I'm audible? Thank you, sir. First of all, good morning to all my senior colleagues and our friends from industrial arena. As sir has already given a brief about ITBP, which we call as Indo-Tibetan Border Police, and the area in which we are serving. Himalaya, you all know, when you hear the name, it poses the level of difficulty itself. One of our young achiever who has climbed Mount Everest in such a young age, she is with us, and she can tell you the level of difficulties which these unknown places, or these places where the air is very thin, the level of oxygen drops down to such a level that at certain point of time, you actually need the requirement of oxygen, your BP goes up, your hemoglobin goes up when you stay for a longer time, and the level of difficulty you face during isolation, that is extreme. Since we are working in varied borders, starting from Leh and up to tri-junction of Arunachal and Myanmar, ITBP poses a serious and different issues which we have to tackle. Now, first of all, I'll delve upon the major problems which you will face as industry, especially from electronics. Since we have already delved upon that altitude is very high, air is thin, oxygen level is very low, and during winters, at certain places, the minimum temperature touches minus 40 or even minus 45. Different type of snowfalls we face. Like in Leh, it's a dry powdered snow. If we go towards middle sector like Himachal and Uttarakhand, it's a snow with lots of accumulation because it has lot of water content. We shift towards Sikkim and Arunachal, extreme rainfalls, and at certain places, lots of snow. Because of rainfall and because of fragile nature of the geography, frequent landslides, flash floods, they're very common nowadays. In the middle sector where there's a possibility of avalanche, our troops faces severe threat at many times when they're stuck up in avalanches. So this is a basic fundamental. If we discuss about issues which electronic industry will face, you're all aware, you are all well versed and well rehearsed, well researched, that when the temperature falls down, the capacity of a battery to store electricity, that's substantially fall. During sub-zero temperatures, the simple joints, they're of no use. They become brittle. The insulations which you uses for your electronic items, because of severe cold, sudden variation of temperatures, that becomes brittle. Sudden causes of current, which we probably technically you call dielectric current or something like that. Technically, I'm not very conversant, but that is one thing which we usually face. If you run an engine, because of fine dust particles, because of rarity of air, the performance of that engine goes down substantially. So breakdown of electronic and electrical items, that is very, very frequent. So now we were discussing about the other challenges which we are facing on the technology front. Even at present, there are certain places like our previous panelists have discussed, like Sundarban and all places where there is no communication system. The similar situation arises in Himalayas also. In fact, we face it much severer than other places. So our best next challenge comes is how to transfer data from those remote places to the control room. So we are looking for those solutions. If it is possible that we can transfer substantial amount of data, maybe in smaller pockets, through RF, or we have to rely upon OFC cables, or from line of sight communication, which was demonstrated yesterday, or I was told that they can reach up to 3 to 4 kilometers of transfer of data from one point to other point. But having an OFC or a communication of this level, that poses its own challenges. Because I was already discussing that because of fragile geographical issues, these are unstable medium of transfer. We don't have that much manpower or we don't have that much capability which can be diverted to keep them maintained. So we have to find out the best solution. It's easier that we can say that satellite is another option, but it has its own dark points. Since I've been in the field for last almost 6 years, there have been many instances when there, at certain places or certain pockets, which are a few kilometers, that are patrol that got out of contact, or they have the satellite phones. So we call it as black spots in communication. The second issue comes is the equipments which we are using, they are probably not that hardened, or the technology which we are using that has been on TOT basis from other countries where the situation may be different. There are certain technologies which are indigenous, but then because the prime market is down below, so the concentration of those technologies or those aspects or the yardsticks which were followed at the time of developing that technology, that is primarily the plain ration. We can understand that because any industry wants a major chunk to offset the amount of expenditure which they've done on R&D. But still, there is a huge market on that. A small example, we have vehicles which are, most of the vehicle are diesel operated. We are trying to get a technology which can help us cold starting of those engines during extreme cold climate. But whenever you talk to an industry segment, they say that the market is very small, even though ITBP and Indian Army and up to some extent BSF and SSB also have the similar problem. But there's a reluctance in industry segment to invest into such an area where they don't find the clientele which is huge enough. And unfortunately, anything which is related to Himalayas, that clientele is little smaller. But then it's a matter of national security. So I'm sure our industry partners will keep the profitability, I should not say profitability, but that number of clientele on a one side and spend some time, some energy on these specific aspects. As sir from our BPR&D, he's already dealt upon you, that government has taken up certain measures on the suggestions of industry partners, on the suggestion of the forces, that we must have a system of funding specific need-based research, plus giving them the specific number of the target which they can sell. So that work is already being done under the IPEX, and the issues which, smaller issues which the IDEX had regarding funding and return of the loans, that is being taken care of.
Sandeep, we will come back to you.
Sure, sir.
Thank you for elaborating. Now, yesterday we had a scientist from DRDO, and Mr. Das spoke about kinetic to multi-domain to AI command, and then went on to autonomous systems and electromagnetic dominance, which, neutralizes whatever the preparations we are making. So this type of ideation for the future is essential. And before I go to Dinesh, we'll be talking to you about what we are doing at the Pakistan border. And now when the situation in Bangladesh has changed with the change of the government, what new threats are coming, how we are going to fence it, various types of smart fencing systems which the BSF was evolving, and the drones being used by Pakistan to drop the arms as well as the drugs, the tunnel systems and the tunnel detection technologies which have been a challenge. Well, with this background, may I request Dinesh to kindly go ahead with your views on this and briefly tell where do we stand in the technology and what we are expectation from the industry.
I think I am audible now. So, thank you, sir, and I apologize for getting delayed because of traffic problem in road, sir. So, as Khosla Sahab has dwelt mostly upon the Himalayan region, so we have not much of this hilly terrain in our area of operation, especially in Jammu and Kashmir. In Kashmir, we are having 150 kilometers of this hilly terrain, and other than that, we are having plainer area of Jammu region. And the problem are slightly different in BSF. Like his problem are mostly related to demography and climatic condition and living conditions, improvement of living conditions there. But in BSF, the problem everywhere is related to something more, some related to crime, smuggling, and infiltration, especially through Kashmir region and through Jammu is more prone to infiltration and use of drones and then tunnel. What sir has highlighted that we are unable to find a solution for tunnel, anti-tunneling devices. But the problem statement we are circulating with the industries also. I have an organization here, SEDCO, in Bengaluru, where we are planning to organize a seminar in near future. And we'll be discussing in detail with the partners, industry partners. Sometime we are going to organize a seminar. But our problem statement generally involve that use of drone UAV surveillance at the border area by the adversaries, counter drone, and we require that some viable solution for counter drone and anti-drone solution. Whatever solution we are having, it appears not to be sufficient. And what we have faced during the Operation Sindoor, so we were facing some problem in counter drone technology. But now we require some research and development in this area. Like we require some passive detection of drones and neutralizing technique to neutralize it. So we were doing some research work also. And we are here, we'll go through the stalls also and find that some solutions are also there. As sir has highlighted that on other BSF border, now with the change scenario in Bangladesh border, as you may be aware about that, you might have read in the newspaper that Honorable Home Minister is himself taking stock of the situation of the border. And he has given a target that we will make our border impenetrable in future. So that fencing problem is there, sir. We have a lot of non-feasible gaps, sir. That we have some riverine gaps, some other gaps, which cannot be fenced ordinarily. So there we require some innovative solution. And that may be smart fencing, integration of existing technology, C2 centers also. As you are aware that we have already some of the CCTV center, C2 center, command centers are there. So we will be looking for some solution of integration of old technology and new technology to make it viable, because there are cost implications related to everything. So we cannot make all the existing infrastructure obsolete. So you have to innovate. Our expectation with the industry partner will be how we can integrate the old technology, and where it is required, we can deploy some new technology for integration of CCTV and fencing. Likewise, the most difficult challenge that we are facing in Jammu region, and that is tunnel. Tunnel is dig for infiltration purpose. Then they are being used for smuggling of contraband, explosive, and something, mostly the narcotics drugs. So we are tackling it very effectively. But we are in search of some very effective counter-drone technology. And there we require a lot of research and innovation. We are also promoting the industry partners, their visits to our border area. And there, if you visit the border area, visit Jammu region and in Punjab, then you can come to know that what are the actual challenges lies there, how the technologies are failing. So you can do some R&D over there, and some other work can be done there. Otherwise, all that the challenges are there which we are facing in ITBP. I have served in ITBP also for some time. Mostly these crime-related issues are not there. But we also face some of the problem related to what Khosla ji has highlighted with regard to the vehicle. We are also in search of some all-terrain vehicle in our creek area and in Gujarat and Rajasthan border. So I may be exceeding the mandate of today's discussion, which is only focused on the Himalayan region. So you can come and see other areas of the BSF also. So we have 13 frontiers and so many other locations, and challenge in every frontier is different. So like in Rajasthan, you may find some different solution. You need to find some different solution. In Gujarat, in creek area, you need to provide some solution for patrolling in the creek and some all-terrain vehicles. So these are some challenges. If you wish, then we can circulate the problem statement also. We can organize a seminar there in our SEDCO. And these are the problems related to BSF on the western border. On eastern border, definitely the main focus area will be the strengthening of fencing, the existing fences and new smart fencing. because it will depend on the availability of budget and all those things. The old fences can be strengthened. There are different generations fences, phase 1, phase 2, phase 3 fences. So they can also be strengthened. Then that can be supplemented by the existing solutions of CCTV, integration with AI, and new generation solution. All kind of avenues are open for the industry partners. So we'll discuss in detail sometime later on. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Dinesh. I just flag few issues. The problem with us is that whatever has to be done quickly. We have to find the quick ways of implementing things with quality and accuracy. Number two, think of a situation where we have to, now the two major challenges we have on any border is the surveillance, integration of the surveillance equipments, and QRT response, quick response team, how we can quickly respond. Number two, if there is a drone attack from across the border, how we are going to neutralize it in the real time. Our defense forces may be prepared, but this may be done at intermittent places where the border guarding forces should also have the autonomous capacity to respond. Number three, what we have observed elsewhere, that a targeted attempt has been made to destroy the defense bases, the important installations within the country in the civic society domain. So these are the challenges which will be coming, and the most important is how quickly and the technology is changing very fast. Every 6 months there's a new technology. So that type of ideation probably we need. With this observation, it is for industry as well as citizens and the government all to think about it, and it's a question of national security and we can't delay it due to procedures. Now, I have with me my friend, Mr. Prakash. Now, the SSB, it is on the Nepal border and the Bhutan border. As I pointed it out, that much has changed in Nepal. They also have, recoveries of counterfeit currency. They have the recovery of drugs in the Nepal border. They have also had few cases, I think he will tell you, few cases where certain Chinese intrusion was also observed and the cases were registered. Now it is an open border. Keeping it open, friendly, is still what new technologies we can, bring to this area so that there is a security-proof entry of everything, whether it is a vehicle or whether they are the people, and still we keep it open. This is the dogma. So right now he will tell us about what is the technology they are adopting, the communication and the surveillance technologies or the frisking technologies they are adopting, and what they expect the industry to do in coming 4 to 5 years. Over to Prakash.
Good morning, sir.
Thoda pass.
Good morning, sir. Good morning to all of you. Sasas Seema Bal is guarding Bharat-Nepal and Bharat-Bhutan borders. Before elaborating about these borders, I would like to say something about the communication, because I have seen communication from grassroots level. Earlier, when we started, we have only the CW nature of communication, continuous wave, or using only HF radios. At that time, we were not having VHF and UHF radios, and our communication was totally depend on HF communication and CW. Continuous wave, as you know that there were Morse code, dots and dashes, we use that. After that, we have advanced in the HF communication with the data and voice. Then OFC network system we have opted, then satellite system, and now we have reached up to the AI-based system. Here, especially in the Nepal and Bhutan border, what we faced, especially in the natural calamities, when you can say, especially when drought is there or flood is there, or we have very dense forest, at that time we face certain problem, or otherwise we have managed our border outposts with the advanced technology. We are also using AI powered surveillance system in those areas where large number of people and vehicles crossed. In addition of that, we are also thinking how a software defined radio. My question is to the manufacturer. Indigenous type of the software defined radio, which will be operated or interoperated with our existing BHF radios, HF radios, or any surveillance system. It's okay, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Prakash. Before we open the session to the audience, we have Sanjeev with us, and I've already introduced you to him. He's a person of international fame, and also you can see how committed he is. There, a patriotic person, and also known as Made in India, a man who is making the slogan really really on ground it is working, Made in India. So I request Sanjeev to put forth his views on how we can improve upon the security systems and what are the problems which we are exactly facing on the border and how the industry can add to it.
Thank you very much, sir. First of all, I would like to thank ELCINA and yourself for getting all the relevant stakeholders on one single platform in last 1.5 hours, where we are able to discuss what are the challenges at various terrains of internal security. And we are really fortunate that we have been working with almost all these forces on all these domains for last few years and have been working on indigenized solutions, looking into what are the challenges. And very frankly, in most of the cases, we have been working quite a long, like with SSB on a few friendly borders, we had worked almost 7 years back on number plate detection and face recognition. So it's not about that the forces are not ready to accept the new solutions which are available. Today we are talking about AI, and we had done this project with SSB, which was a pilot project, but again, there was a will from the SSB and MHA who came forward to give us an opportunity to do it. Definitely. We got this opportunity, we did the pilot. Again, the problem comes with the industry is that we did the pilot, definitely we would have put in a huge money. It would not have been only the 2 or 3 borders would have sustained the R&D. So industry is ready. Industry is ready with the solutions. Industry also needs a hand-holding. Domestic industry has all the kind of capabilities. If we would have been able to build up this kind of AI 7-8 years back, so today definitely the things have moved on much ahead. Our companies like us also have developed further more technologies which are now much more trustworthy. So we also need support from the forces, first of all, to tell what are their challenges so that we can work together. And how, because unless and until we are able to come to know what are the challenges like on the ground, how can we develop these solutions? Again, one of the more challenges in the earlier session, there was saying that we want to achieve this H1 with L1. So it also doesn't matter. Domestic industry is ready to work at any kind of cost also. That's also not the challenge. The main challenge is that they should be given an opportunity. We see in many of the cases, it happens that when these opportunities actually come, there is again a certain criteria where the domestic industry is not able to meet with the prior experience, and certain conditions come in the RFPs. So industry is proving it. Right now, you people were in Bangalore. We are proud to say that all the junctions in Bangalore are being monitored by Sparsh cameras for last 4 years. If these cameras are working for 4 years, which gives a confidence. But if a tender comes in which says you have a 5 years of experience, so it becomes very painful. So if everything is running fine for 4 years, it would have run for 5 years also. So certain practicality has to be taken into consideration. Industry is all ready. We have all kind of solutions. We have implemented one of the world's most complicated project, that is USBRL. You all must have heard about Katra to Srinagar railway line. So that's one of the most difficult terrains, 330 kilometers of railway line, 119 kilometers of tunnels going there, Chenab Bridge, world's highest bridge to be monitored. Everything being done by domestic equipment, hardware, software, where emergency response, PA, SCADA integration. Vande Bharat at 100 kilometers per hour gets clearance from a CCTV system that there is all clear inside the tunnel. So if these kind of systems can be implemented with domestic, so definitely domestic industry has come a long way, and we are there to serve the nation. And I will make sure that we all can do it. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you, Sanjeev. You have really done a great job. And we can clap for Sanjeev once again. Now, two things: that the present political dispensation has set up a R&D fund, and we believe that that fund is used by the industry, and ideation of the coming challenges, that is more important. And it is, they say that every citizen is a police person without uniform, and every policeman in uniform is a citizen. So we have really come to that era where we have to really, step into the shoes of each other and then holistically look into the problem. And often I think that those foreign OEMs have employed the same Indians who go abroad and work for them, but they are not beneficially or suitably deployed in the country itself to produce the same results. This is a big challenge with our society. That has also to be bridged, because now it is an era of competition where whosoever does it faster and does it more accurately. With this, now I invite questions from the audience, whatever way we can interact and reach to a better understanding. Yeah, yes, please.
Sir, listening to the problems you presented along the borders and the environmental conditions, is it possible to put sensors all along the terrain on the ground, and also have a high altitude platforms, what they call as HAPs, kept at stratospheric heights, so that it is looking down upon the particular region for 100 days or more than that, both surveillance and communication coming to the ground control room, so that the whole thing is mapped all along the year through different weather changes and other things, so that, of course, everything is AI enabled, so that finally you get all the relevant data about that region and what is happening on the ground, and what kind of threats are also happening, so that you have the entire data through both from space as well as from ground. So many advanced sensors have to be designed which survive those terrible conditions prevailing at Himalayas.
You have raised very pertinent point. With the background of my service in BSF, CRPF, BPR&D as well as MHA. And now I am out of the government system. Now as a citizen, when I look at the problem, the three prominent issues, right? Not that the technologies are not available. Economy and indigenous production is an issue, because the adversary, if we get it from outside, what type of, sensing will be done through those sensors of our data. This is an issue. Therefore, we are going for the indigenous one. When we were working with BSF, Now, this is not a criticism, but it's just an observation, as a fair observation. We went in for weighted average and again 18 months to finalize the trials and this and that. Israel did it in 6 months. So when the Israeli team visited, we asked, how could you do it in 6 months? So they said we didn't go in for the tender item wise. We visited the industries. We called the tender from the industries, this is what you have to produce. And the way you give the agencies. So they analyzed, visited, the government offices visited all the industries, saw their production capacities, saw their past capabilities, saw who is managing, and then they gave it to the industry. And it was within 6 months, everything produced as desired by the different terrains and put on the place. So this was another model rather than going through because we have to be transparent. The government has to be transparent. We have to be fair to everybody. So the fairness, so the procedures have been made. So this is one aspect. How do we, find our procedures? Number two, many technologies are not used in forces because people do not know. But let me tell you that in each force in BSF as well as CRPF, there are over 500 engineers from different branches. But they are working in field as soldiers, not as a people of technology. There's a huge scope that they are retrained over the present technologies so that they understand and the optimal utilization of the technology increases. Otherwise, many of the people at lower level are scared of using the technology because if anything goes wrong, there's something called court of inquiry and they're scared that the recovery will be made, so it's better to avoid. So this happens with us also. When we buy a new vehicle, we do not know how to operate it, and even a new telephone. Even my daughter used to laugh at me, Dad, you shouldn't have bought this because you don't know how to operate it. So it happens with everybody. So sir, it is not difficult if we can get the faster procedure, and that the research fund which has been set up by Honorable Prime Minister and the present political dispensation, it can do wonders. And if we solve that problems, that the brain drain which is happening from our country to outside, and the outside OEMs using their brains are selling us the same technology at a high rate. This is all you know. If these 3-4 issues are tackled, and so that is possible, technologies are available, and that is the need of the hour. That is important. And how those sensors, they take the data and how safely and fastly it is transmitted. So it's a very good point, and it is a point for consideration at various levels. Thank you very much. Any other questions, sir?
Thank you.
Sir, I would add one. Hello. Maheshwari sir, I would like to add one thing.
Please.
We have been talking about IDI fund. Maybe with the outcome of this particular 2 sessions, maybe we can come up with one white paper and we can go back to our nodal ministry, MHA, with the recommendations that if this RDI fund can be given to the startups or the particular solutions for internal security, that would be really helpful.
May I say?
No, this really happened. It's really happened that earlier Bombay, IIT Mumbai was given 100 crores for some research and development of certain solutions. Ministry of Electronics gave it to IIT Mumbai, where Mr. Karindkar was there at that time.
NCT.
They developed a solution, but they found the solution, but developing into a, in form of a operable equipment was a challenge at that point of time. And then at a cost, and when the industry said, okay, we will do it, we will employ the same people, same IITians, we will produce, develop everything, but then what is the surety of the orders? That you give the orders, minimum orders. Now these issues are being taken care of. Even the research
Sir,
funds,
I had been very closely.
I agree with you.
I was very closely involved in NCETIS. I'm really sorry to say none of the commercial product came out of it. If the industry is taken as a part of the whole development since the start, we will definitely come out with the commercial solutions, which because whatever research is being done, it has to be converted into commercial product. So that's wherever I see NCITS, because I was involved from the day one with NCITS. So I know what was done there. 84 crores was given to them.
But these are the point. We are bringing it out so that we all start thinking these things reach to the people who have to take a decision. So I think something will come out. Yes, we can take a question from you.
Brigadier Muthukumar, sir, Strategic Advisor with IIT Madras Pravartak. Strategic Advisor with IIT Madras Pravartak Foundation, Brigadier Muthukumar. My point is, we have General Verma here. He will appreciate. Right from 1916, I have been teaching and practicing DPP, DAP and all that. I have seen, I am happy that you are trying to bring out changes in procedures and you are trying to also bring out the safety factor which plays upon bureaucrats when they buy something, when they want to be very prudent on paper. Good. The second point is, sir, regarding the way you developed the terrain and spoke about each nuance. I have been there for around 35 years, 20 years in borders. What I found was currently mill grade conclusion, industry proof production, deployable equipment coming out of the lab was a problem, which you correctly pointed out. However, now with MEIT going in for around hundreds of crores into technology parks. I have been with IIT Madras Pravartak Foundation. I just retired, sir. Only 1 month. But what I have understood is user industry academia web. Verma sir, you will appreciate that we had worked on that laser and we made it into a success. Merkalava tank was a failure. Now 13th, 14th version of Merkalava is getting deployed. But Merkalava was accepted for deployment. I'm just forgetting the name. Yeah, Mr. Sehgal. Yesterday I was sitting in his place and then I was quickly grasping one thing and moving on. That given a problem solution, he said, I'll start working today. So my point is, sir, I am a fellow of Indian Institute of Technical Arbitration and I have seen that many times even PQCs are challenged. Only 2 PQCs for everybody. You say, should I have prior experience of having produced so-and-so product? Product is jab niche hai. Prior experience kahin se aa hi nahi sakta. The second part, my Hindi can be poor, I am trying to connect. The second part is when we say that should have a positive profit turnover. Tata Advanced Systems, which I can name number of them. Yield point kahin jaakar fix karte. It's an industry model. They're ready to cough up losses for 4 years, 5 years. In R&D, you wouldn't have started off with profits. You plan when I will go and break even. So, sir, according to me, this Pravartak kind of, not trying to sell Pravartak, collaborative. I'm trying to suggest. Because I have seen the passion with which you brought out points, if you take it on with an incubator like Pravartak, can be more. Section 8. I'm talking about not-for-profit entities. So very beginning is Bismillah hi sahi hai. So you are not into any wrong. You are onto a moral high. So at that time, problem statement is niche, clear. Version can be 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. Iterative development with iterative cache. With MOQs. What I am trying to say is it need not be 1. It can be 8, it can be 10, it can be 12. It can be industry appetite satisfying. A very dangerous word. It can be industry's practical appetite to be satisfied so that they are able to be a going venture. Took 2 minutes extra, but wanted to put it across because you are a senior thought leader. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your ideas. And I think BP R&D, if it plays role more, viably, it can provide a platform and where various industries in the police forces can come together because there's another 2-3 things I have observed. The administrative officers keep changing. Few people are pro technology, few people believe in basics. But then the world today proves that technology is self-subversive. It can be used either way. And we are just now talking to him that what happens if the jamming is done? What happens if the intrusion is done in our system? Then everything collapses. Those are the challenges. We are adopting the technology or are we ready to make them safe? That is because technology is self-subversive. So this will be a constant challenge, but the dialogues must go on. We must keep discussing ideas. They may be individual ideas. They may be good, bad, ugly. But then Dialogue is a must between the people, the government, and the industrialists as well as the forces. Before I close down, just any final word any of the panelists would like to make before we close down. Just 1 more minute.
Sir, as we know that there is twin problem, the fast acquisition and then compliance of the rule and regulation, the MHA approved QR. Can we have a dialogue on everything on very intensive basis? We can develop some portal or something like that. So that industry people are apprised about our requirement and we apprise them about the technological requirements and upgradation. Second thing, sir, whatever industry develops, it has to be scalable, sir. Whatever technology is available today, that may be having capability to be upgraded to next level. I think these are the points which I wanted to make, sir, because whenever you go for procurement, all the time you go for L1, then you have to be MHA, QR code compliant and all those things, sir. So we can think about intensive dialogue, sir.
Thank you, Dinesh. And I thank all the audience which is present here and ELCINA for giving us the time to interact. And as I said, these interactions must go on and a public opinion should be created so that we are on the right track and we are not found on the, just in a sleeping mode. Sometimes the things are not delayed. So thank you for organizing such a beautiful interaction. And with this, over to the announcer.
Let's give a warm round of applause for our moderator and our panelists for a thought-provoking session. Thank you to our moderator and to all our panelists. May I now request Dr. Kumar Gendam, the president of ELCINA, to please join us on the stage to hand over the memento. And also right after this, I request all our panelists and moderator to remain on the stage as we will have the release of ELCINA's report. Can you give a warm round of applause for Dr. A.P. Maheshwari, DG, CRPF. Mr. Dinesh Kumar Yadav, IPS, ITBSF. Mr. Sandeep Khosla, IG, Indo-Tibetan Border Police. Thank you for your insightful words. On the panelists, we had Mr. Prakash Chandra Raturi, Commandant, Communication, SSB. Mr. Sanjeev Sehgal, the founder and MD, Sparsh CCTV. May I now request all the panelists to join for the group photograph, and right after that, I request you all to remain on the stage. May I now request Dr. Vimpul Kumar, IPS IG CRPF, Mr. Sitanshu Mishra, IPS IG CISF, Mr. M.A. Johar, President CP Plus, to please join us on the stage. Mr. Varun Gupta, Counterpoint Research, for the release of ELCINA's report on India's surveillance market. I request our panelists also to remain on the stage. Mr. A. Nagaraja, SP Internal Security Division, Karnataka, to please join us on the stage.